6 months ago, I opened an Etsy shop in the hopes of making $10,000 per month selling digital products. And you know the drill. Today, I'm going to be sharing the results with you for my last month and the past half year. First of all, I'd like to wish everyone Happy New Year. My name is Jai and I sell business templates on Etsy. Now, as you all know, last month, December, was the last stretch of the fourth quarter of 2024. And while a lot of consumer-facing shops did really well, mine didn't, which I think isn't unusual for B2B or business-to-business types of shops for that time of year. It is what it is. But to be completely honest with you, I was actually pretty hands-off this last month. With the exception of keeping an eye on my Etsy ads, I didn't make any new listings for the whole month. I even deactivated or turned off the renewal on some of my seasonal listings, like templates for fall or Halloween, because, well, obviously, I don't think anyone would be needing those anymore for now. So now I have less than 150 listings. And while brainstorming for this video, I was actually being kind of hard on myself that I dropped the ball because I didn't make any new products last month. And I was kind of even embarrassed to show you my numbers because instead of inching towards my $10,000 per month goal, it feels like I took 2 steps back because I didn't do much for my Etsy business. But you know what? Selling on Etsy, whether it's digital products or print on demand, it's often marketed as some sort of easy passive income or side hustle, right? I bet you've seen a good number of YouTube videos where people share success stories of Etsy sellers making thousands of dollars per month. Those types of videos are kind of the reason I even started becoming an Etsy seller in the first place. And I'm sure a good number of you can relate to that. And if you have your own Etsy shop, you may have found out for yourself that that really isn't the case. But what if I treated my Etsy shop as that? You know, something that you set up in the beginning, then leave alone? Well, with December being a busy time of the year because of the holidays and events, and as someone who even has a job and this YouTube channel, I was in a mental state of having a little more fun to end the year, and my Etsy shop became less of a priority. So, how did my Etsy shop perform with me leaving it alone for a month? Let's find out. Here we are again with our good friend, the Etsy statistics page. As you can see, in terms of visits, it's been on kind of this downward trend leading up to Christmas, then kind of spiked up again after Christmas. I got 99 total orders for the month, so just one short of 100. So that's about 3 orders a day on average, with my best-selling day only having 7 sales. Around Christmas time, there were days where I didn't get any sales at all. And my conversion rate kinda dipped as well at 4.3% conversions. And as for my revenue, I earned $654.32. That's an interesting number, 65432. Switching to my ads dashboard, with my $20 daily budget, I wasn't even maximizing those for the day. In previous months, it would usually get almost eaten up daily. There was a day when I actually forgot to turn my ads on because I was on a trip, so that's December 16. And then I actually purposely turned them off on December 24, 25, and 31 because on December 23 and 30, they were on, but I only spent less than $1 for those days. So I figured that turning them on wouldn't really make a difference. In total, I got 50 orders from ads, so that's about half of my total orders for the month. I spent $267 on ads and made back almost $352 in revenue. All in all, I made 13,417 Philippine pesos for the month, which is about $230 US. To recap my last 6 months on Etsy, I generated $3,681 in total revenue for a total profit of 70,268 Philippine pesos, or about $1,200. I was also able to hit over 500 orders in total for this whole shop. Now, last month was definitely my lowest performing month, not counting July and August when I was still trying to find my footing. And yes, it is a bit disappointing to be perfectly honest. But to put it into perspective, where I'm from, $230 or 13,000 Philippine pesos for a month is around as much as the minimum wage for an employee working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So the value is definitely subjective. It might not seem like much to some, but it's still not a number to scoff at. because we all have our different circumstances, and it isn't bad considering I only spend 5 minutes a day on average to check on my shop, like calibrating the ads, responding to the occasional customer inquiry, and just making sure that Etsy didn't randomly decide to shut down my shop for whatever ridiculous reason, because apparently that happens sometimes. And on a more positive note, with my total earnings for the shop, I was actually able to use a portion of it for a trip to Singapore last month. So that's something, right? Having this additional source of income has allowed me to do more of the things I want to do without making too big of a dent on my savings from my regular job. So selling digital products on Etsy isn't exactly an easy passive side hustle, but it's still a good source of additional income as long as you're willing to suffer for the first 3 months like I did. Kidding aside, going back to my goal of $10,000 a month on Etsy, I think it's safe to say that at the rate I'm going at, $10,000 a month isn't gonna happen for a while. At least not for this shop. Because if we do the math, if on a good month I make $400 with 150 listings, then it would take me 3,750 more listings to get to 10K. And realistically, at 30 listings per month, it would take 125 more months or 10 years to get there. And that's just way too far in the future. So what does this mean for my Etsy shop? Well, I definitely won't be closing it down, but in order to get to 10K per month, I need to look into creating additional income streams. I've mentioned before that my niche has a strong chance of plateauing no matter how many listings I post because the demand on Etsy is limited and I still do have a good number of competition. So having these additional income streams would not only add to my current revenue, but also serve as a safety net in case something goes wrong with my current Etsy shop. Though let's hope that that doesn't happen. I've actually already started working on a couple of these additional income stream ideas behind the scenes, and I definitely would love to share them with you in the future. Don't worry, it's not crypto, although there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're interested in following along with this journey of creative paths to financial freedom, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you on the next video.